What is up, y'all? Capone Tony here, and welcome to another Ever Crisis video, and welcome to our first content update, pretty much post second anniversary. A couple things to go through here. We have two new draws. One's a new feature draw featuring Vincent. One is like kind of a returning limit break half anniversary draw. All the weapons and costumes have been enhanced from the half anniversary, the first half anniversary. So that's actually pretty significant. A lot of really cool upgrades from that, and a couple new content updates as well regarding the crash battle, battle tower, a couple other things. So I'm going to start by going through the new feature draw, which is Vincent. Like I said, it looks like he's wearing a Halloween costume. I don't know, I feel like this is releasing early. So yeah, it looks pretty awesome. So the Galian Roar here is his weapon, and he got the Galian Beast Mantle. So yeah, this is actually pretty badass, pretty really cool looking aesthetic. Yeah, first time we got shirtless Vincent, so there you go. And yeah, looks pretty friggin' awesome. So the gear here, it has buff debuff extension points plus 15 points, so automatically you're gonna get a 80% buff debuff duration increase for this costume, which is interesting because Vincent is technically a attacker character, but he kind of has like a support costume here, so very, very interesting. Inner Turmoil, his other R ability here, is granting magic defense down max tier +1, so that's pretty cool. And also the magic ability damage plus 20% when command gauge is at max, so 20% extra damage essentially, and he's decreasing the magic defense down. It can go from 3 tiers to 4 tiers technically, or just, you know, whatever weapon he's using, whatever it's doing, it can increase by 1 tier. So that brings me into the Galian Roar here, which this weapon is actually pretty awesome. So at base copy, you're getting 430% magic non-elemental damage, single target. Also, Enfeeble is applied. That's awesome for 20 seconds. Magic defense is decreased low to mid, and also 70% HP or more. Magic attack is increased all allies, low to mid. Our abilities are magic attack and magic ability potency. Magic attack and triangle sigil boost are the support abilities. Yeah, so right off the bat, this is kind of like Aerith's Crimson Staff, her limited New Year's weapon, which is really, really good, but it also has Enfeeble on top of it, which is pretty insane, and it's only 3 ATB as well. That's really, really good. And the difference with the Crimson, though, is it has an AoE with the magic defense down. This is just single target, but still, you know, this is really good for a featured weapon. So let's go to OB1. The main difference here at OB1 is we're just getting a little extra duration on all the debuffs and buffs and whatnot. So this goes to 20 seconds on these two, and Feeble goes to 30 seconds. A little bit extra magic non-elemental damage too. 42 and 18 on the R abilities here. It's really good. OB6 is where it really gets good. So you're getting Enfeeble for 45 seconds. Magic defense decrease goes mid to high. And also this goes mid to high as well on the magic attack AoE increase. 54 and 30 on the R ability is really, really good. And at OB10, you're going at 800% magic non-elemental damage, 60 seconds on Feeble, 35 seconds on mid to high for magic defense increase, and then mid to high on magic attack increase AoE. So I guess another advantage that the Crimson Staff has for Aerith is that her buffs and debuffs go to high immediately with just 1 cast. You're going to have to do 2 casts with Vincent. So that is, you know, a bit of a downer, but it is a feature weapon. Plus you're getting Enfeeble on top of it, which is, you know, pretty insane. And the R abilities go 62, 42. That is really good R abilities for Vincent. Goes really well with any of his magic builds that he has. So yeah, really good. Yeah, it could be a really good offhand for like any DPS magic weapon he technically has. He has a few of them too. So yeah, what do I think of this? I think it's really good. It's 3 ATB. It does a lot of stuff. You know, the more stuff a weapon does, it's just the better. You're getting Enfeeble, magic defense down, and magic attack AoE all in 1 3 ATB cast. That's really, really good. The weapon being on Vincent, though, kind of weird because, like I said, he's not really a support character, but you could technically run this as like an offhand type of weapon for him because He doesn't really have any like offhand type of weapons that go with his builds. Like I'd say that one Quake weapon, the featured one, goes with his limited Quake weapon. But outside of that, you kind of just throw in our ability stat sticks for Vincent on his offhands for his DPS builds. Now you have something like this, which I think you can just cast this once, or actually you might have to cast it twice because you have to cast it twice to get to high on the 2 potencies. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, to get the most out of it. Oh, but it is 3 ATB, so 2 3 ATB casts, you'll get to high on both. Good R abilities, so if you run this in the offhand, you can combine it with something like, let's see. You could go a couple different routes here, I feel. So let's go to Vincent real quick. So if you ran in the offhand, you could technically run like Crow Familiar in the main hand, so that would be a good offhand for Crow Familiar doing, you know, party-wide magic attack up, and then magic defense down and Enfeeble, and then you can just start doing damage with Crow Familiar. So that's actually pretty good. Hugin and Moonin is another one, would be really good. This is his magic non-elemental weapon. So if we do technically ever have like a magic non-elemental guild battle, this weapon could be really good for that. And this costume, this whole build, because, you know, you technically can do magic defense down 4 tiers if you're wearing that costume, which is really good. So yeah, for this, Hugin and Moonin will work really well as well. So you're getting the 20% damage, extra damage from the costume, as well as you're being able to do 4 tiers down on magic defense. So if we ever do have a magic non-elemental guild battle, Vincent might be really good for it. If you want to make Vincent a full-on support character, like you could use all the utility from this weapon, his new weapon, and then he can be your Quake debuffer. Or you can use all the utility from this weapon and combine it with 1976, which will decrease physical attack and magic attack down. So if you want to make him full support, you could go that route as well. But other than that, I think this weapon combined with either Crow Familiar or Hugin and Moonin would work pretty well. Or maybe his Quake weapon as well, but I feel like this weapon here is a better offhand for his Quake, his limited Quake weapon. So yeah. Outside of that, so yeah, you can go kind of a good offhand weapon for DPSs, for his DPS builds, his magic DPS builds in particular, or just go full support with this costume. So yeah, that's how I kind of see Vincent. Am I gonna pull on it? Of course not. I think a lot of y'all are not gonna pull on it because we're, you know, probably a lot of us are totally broke. And when I say us, I mean like people that are, you know, light spending, free to play and whatnot. Yeah, Anniversary probably cooked a lot of us. So a lot of these, you know, featured banners in particular are always typically skippable anyways, because like I said, these weapons can always be wishlisted in the future, and this is a very, very good weapon to wishlist in the future. Very, very good build here for Vincent, and yeah, you get the most of it out of it if you get his costume, because you'll have that buff debuff on the costume, which will extend those to the magic defense down, magic attack up, and the extra damage on the 20% extra damage too. So that'll be actually, like I said, really good for a non-elemental guild battle if we actually do get something like that in the future. But yeah, that's Vincent. I think the weapon is really good. It's something I'm not going to pull on. Are y'all going to pull on it? What do y'all think of the weapon? How do you think it's going to be used? Do you think there's some things I did not consider here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, so that's Vincent. Another thing that happened here is that we have a Reawakened limit break draw. Weapons and gear were enhanced from the first half anniversary. So let's go to all the characters here. I'll tell you like what's been increased and you know, what my recommendations are for these characters. Like, you know, like I said again, all of us are probably broke, and you can get these weapons over time through the anniversary, or was it the limit break medal draw, which is pretty much you just keep drawing on banners, you'll get these medals, you'll get these weapons for free. But if you want to go back and get some of these weapons, I feel like like I said before, I feel like it's bad to go backwards in this game, but these weapons in costumes, they get enhanced pretty significantly, and you know, it is pretty nice. But I feel like it's only worth it to go backwards in this game if like you have like one of these weapons at like OB5, you want to get to OB6, or OB9, you want to get to OB10, you know, something like that. But anyway, I'll go into these weapons now, tell you what's been increased and why it's actually pretty good on all these. So Cloud's weapon here, Stream Saber. Before at OB10, it would go to 900% physical ice damage, and that was it. Now it goes to 1020% physical ice damage. It also applies an HP gain to all your allies. So HP gain is like kind of like a leech life in a way. So once he applies HP gain to the whole party, once everybody just uses their C abilities, or yeah, C abilities, whatever, they'll get HP back. And like I said, right here, 8% of the target's max HP. So they just use commands and you essentially get your HP back, which is pretty cool. You know, it has to be attacks. It can't be, you know, like support abilities. It has to be something that you're actually damaging the enemy with. So right off the bat, HP gain, I see this being very good for Guild War, where you might not need a healer. So if you run Cloud in Guild War, you can apply HP gain to the party, and yeah, that could be really good for Guild War. So that's something to think about there. His costume also was increased. So Frostblade Arcanum, before it went to 35% max ice damage, and now goes to 45% ice damage. So yeah, I actually did pull on this way back in the day. This is the only one I pulled on the first half anniversary. And yeah, I mean, now the weapon's even better. Yeah, I got this OB6, and now like I said, with those like limit break draw metal things, I actually got it to OB10 over time. So yeah, I actually might use Cloud for Guild War. He's going to probably be really, really good for it. Especially if you have his newest weapon, the Fusion Sword, to go with this. It's going to be really, really good. All right. So Zac, Stream Guard was enhanced. Before, this was just a DPS weapon as well, but now he's doing even more magic fire damage, 1020%, and he's doing a magic defense is decreased, goes mid to high, and magic attack is increased mid to high. Oh, all allies too. Oh man, that's really good. Man, this is a really good weapon too. So kind of similar to what, you know, Cloud got an ice weapon like this, a featured one, where he did magic attack increase to himself and magic defense down while also doing damage. You know, Zac here, he's doing kind of something similar, but he's doing aim attack AoE increase, so that's really good. Yeah, there's a really, really nice enhancement here to the Stream Guard. I like it a lot. And the Guardian style, again, extra 10% to the fire ability damage. 15 points. What I find kind of silly though is the magic attack is still 5 points on everything. So yeah, it's 5 points there, 5 points the P attack. They couldn't make it 10 at least, you know. Kind of silly. But anyway, it's really, really good for Zac. Really nice enhancement. Protector's Blade for Sephiroth. This got enhanced in a couple ways. So now it has a Diamond Sigil Breaker, which is pretty cool to have on a DPS weapon. And it does a MDEF is increased all allies high at OB10. I think it's mid to high at OB6. So that's really good too. Anytime you have magic defense increased on a DPS weapon, that's really, really good to have. So that means your support or your healer won't have to do that buff, and they can focus on other things. So yeah, that's actually really, really cool as well. I like it. Diamond Sigil, you never know when you're going to need Diamond Sigil Break, and when a DPS character has it, that's pretty cool. So yeah. And also his lethal style got magic ability mastery plus 15 points now, so this goes an extra 10% here. So just extra 10% magic ability damage. You'll take it. And 10 points to HP, which is kind of random. And then Glenn here, arguably you might have got the best upgrade here. This is really good. So Glenn is at, so before this weapon here for Glenn just did 900% physical water damage. Now we're getting a Diamond Sigil Break like Sephiroth. We're also getting physical defense down is decreased high, and he's getting an AoE Veil, 70% HP or less. He will cast a Veil, 10% of max HP to all allies. That's really, really good. The only other character that has AoE Veil in the game is Angeal on a weapon, and that was like a limit break weapon as well. It's 1.5 year anniversary weapon. So this ability here is very, very exclusive, and yeah, that's really, really nice. Yeah, it kind of, you know, gives more of a reason why why Glenn is considered a tank now, because this is a very tank-like ability here. So yeah, really good DPS, wall defense down with Veil, AoE. That's solid, really, really good. Yeah, the condition kind of sucks, the 70% or less. I always like it when you're more, but yeah, that's the only kind of real downside. But yeah, it's still really, really good. I still like it a lot. And Vanguard style, also another 10% to water damage. So I technically do have this costume too. Claude and Glenn were on the same banner back in the day. And yeah, I actually got both costumes. I actually got Glenn's weapon to like OB7 or 8 over time. And yeah, actually a pretty nice free enhancement here. So yeah, should you pull on this though? Man, it's kind of hard to recommend. Like I said, it's hard to go backwards in this game, but these are really nice enhancements. But again, I'm sure a lot of us are drained from the anniversary, and yeah, it's just, you know, they're throwing so much at us. Like I don't know. It's kind of hard to recommend. But like I said, if you're like missing a copy that will get you to OB6 or missing a copy of weapon that will get you to OB10, then you could, you know, I think that's not a bad reason to pull then, because you can get a guaranteed copy of a weapon on the second stamp at least. But yeah, this is 4 pages, 3 weapons per page, except for the first page for whatever reason. There's only 2. But yeah, if you want to go for these old costumes, you go for these old weapons that have pretty nice enhancements, you can do that. But yeah, we have the featured weapon, we have the limit break draw, and we have anniversary draw. So there's a lot to kind of pick and choose from. I think best thing for buck is always going to be anniversary, and feature draws are always going to be least priority. This is kind of a weird thing where like I said, I don't like going backwards on stuff in this game because gachas are always trying to get weapons better and better as the game goes on. So, but still, and like I said, you can get these weapons randomly through like these the limit break draw. So like every 10 pulls you have on a featured banner or any banner, you'll get 1 medal here. I'm kind of trying to save these now a little bit because I did a 3 draw last time and I got all copies of OB10 weapons, which sucked. So yeah. All right, so that covers the 2 new banners. Are you all going to pull on either one? Are you going to pull on the Vincent one? What do you think of the enhancements on these weapons? I think they're pretty cool. So yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, let's cover the rest of the new content updates that happened this week. So one thing here, go to the notice here, it says changes to new weapon mission rewards and the frequency of event weapons. So from now on, when you got a weapon to OB2, like a featured weapon, you would get a wallpaper. They're not doing wallpapers anymore, it seems like. So kind of sucks because I actually kind of do like the wallpapers in this game. You know, I think it's just another reason for them to be lazy and not do them. But anyways, they don't do wallpapers anymore at OB2 on featured weapons. Now they're giving us a Rouse medal. So Rouse medals can be used on specific weapons that were added to this Rouse exchange. And that kind of takes me into what this Rouse exchange is. So if we go in here, where is it? All right, so there are 2 new weapons here in the Rouse medal exchange. And if you look at this new weapon here for Aerith, oh, well, I already redeemed him. You get 1 free copy just in your gift box, so go ahead and claim that. So if we look at these 2 new weapons that they gave us, a 5-star copy of, we'll start with the Rousen Wiser Staff. So right off the bat, this is a lazy redesign. They just gave us Wiser Staff and made it gold. So anyway, at base copy, you're getting a P-attack AoE increase, all allies, mid to mid. You're also getting mid to mid at magic defense increase with a small magic heal cast. So off the bat, what is that? That is freaking Kamura wand. They gave us Temu Kamura wand, dude. That's actually pretty awesome for people that, you know, this game, you know, it's like a meme, like how good Kamura wand is, how useful it was for like all the content like that came after Kamura wand came out. There was a ridiculous amount of content that was just perfect with Kamura wand, which made Aerith like the best support by far. Now we're getting a free weapon that is essentially Kamura wand, which tells me that Monster Hunter is never going to come back. So there's that probably. But yeah, it's a free weapon. You get these Rouse medals by getting featured weapons to OB2, and once you get those Rouse medals, I guess you'll get more copies. You can redeem those medals toward more copies of these, the Temu Kamura and the Temu Zac weapon, which I'm going to show here in a second. So, so you get 32 HP and 18 on the buff debuff extension. It's actually good. You get the all cure spell. It's kind of very similar to Kamura. So OB6, it goes from mid to high in the P attack. Magic defense actually goes straight to high, which is really good. And 40 and 30. And at OB10, you're going to still mid to high on P attack. So that the advantage that Kamura wand has, the real Kamura wand, is that it would go to P attack high and magic defense high, which is one cast. You wouldn't have to double cast it. So that is an advantage, but this is free Kamura. That's crazy. And then you're getting, yeah, high to high magic defense, high, mid to high physical attack, AoE increase, and HP 46 and 42 on the buff debuff extension. Good R abilities, good weapon, all cure slot. I mean, for a free weapon, you know, you can't really complain. Really, really good. Yeah, over time, you yourself can build your very own Temu Kamura wand. So, pretty amazing, right? And also, we got the Rousing Arc Sword. So this is Temu Zinogre weapon for Zac. So we'll just go to OB10 for this. So OB10, we're getting 900% physical lightning damage with 1.2 damage increase at OB, or when your HP is 7% or more. So yeah, pretty strong physical lightning weapon here for Zac, a free one. If people that did skip Zinogre, I skip Zinogre, and yeah, I'm gonna be glad to get this weapon over time. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be working on this one because I already have Kamura. And our abilities 31, 42, P attack 31 is kind of dog shit, but 42 is pretty good on lightning potency. P attack and X sigil boost +2, and yeah, 698 on the physical attack. So yeah, physical lightning weapon for Zac. Also kind of gives you another reason now to redeem that butler costume for Zac. You know, if you have your anniversary voucher, because before I gave reasons why I wouldn't redeem it, because Zac doesn't really have any featured weapons that go with it except like ice ones. Now you can get this lightning one over time that goes well with his Omni Arcanum Butler costume if you want to redeem that in the second year anniversary gear voucher. So yeah, that's kind of enticing me to get that Butler costume now. And yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's a free weapon. It's free weapons you can get over time. I think it's an excuse, though, to kind of, you know, for them to stop making wallpapers, which is kind of a shame. But, yeah, so once you get weapons, featured weapons to OB2, which I guess this is also kind of incentive to pull on featured banners because, like I said, a lot of people skip featured banners, myself included, because you can just wish list the weapons later. You only kind of really pull for the costume. And, yeah, so once you get these medals, you can get more copies of these weapons and overboost them, I guess, slowly over time. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. 3 new weapons. We got free Kamura and free Zinogre, which is really good because, like I said before, physical lightning is very rare in this game. And, yeah, now we got a new one for Zac that we can just kind of get for free over time. And Kamura, amazing. Everyone can get Kamura now. I'm happy for y'all. All right, so outside of that, we got Guild Battle, Guild Ranking. Guild Battle 15 is on right now. Let's go into that real quick. So I did like a little sample of this battle already. I cleared stage 3 no problem, 100%ed it. Team I ran, you can go Sid, Sephiroth, and Cloud. I think this is a pretty solid team. Double DPS with Sid just being your all-in-one support. What Sid would do here, he would cast the ice resist down as well as your physical attack up and ice up to both characters. So that's a cool thing you can do here. You don't need Enfeeble for this battle. The boss is resistant to it. You don't need physical defense down for this battle. Boss is resistant to it. So your support doesn't have to do a ton. So you could technically run a Sid here in the middle. You could also run Aerith in the middle. The problem is that Aerith's ice up weapon, the Citric Wand, is not physical attack up, it's magic attack up. So she could run that, or whoever, you could just run any support as long as they're doing a physical attack up AoE, and then you could just run the summon that does ice up AoE. So like this Icy Judgment here, you could just like cast this once you break the sigil phase, the damage sigil phase, and then you can apply ice up to the entire party at mid, while also applying the ice ability damage next attack thing. So that's an alternative. If you don't have ice up on your support character, you can do that as well. So yeah, like for me, I might run Aerith because I don't have 3 tiers down for ice. I can only do 2 tiers because this weapon's OB1. And Aerith does have 2 casts of AoE ATB up, which can be helpful. Also heals. And like I said, for higher stages, Cloud's weapon might be really good if you have it because it has HP gain. and the boss is like continuously attacking you over and over and over. So if you have HP gain active on your party, you're going to just kind of heal as you're breaking those sigils. You can do that. But yeah, these are like your two strongest ice DPSs to go with for physical ice. You could also run a physical ice Tifa. If you don't have these characters, you can run a physical ice Glenn, which everybody should have physical ice Glenn because they gave us that weapon at OB6 minimum. So physical ice Glenn, physical ice Zac, physical ice Cloud, physical ice Sephiroth, physical ice Tifa. There's a lot of physical ice characters in this game. So just make your choice. I think best supports in the middle would be your Cid or your Aerith. Lucia maybe, because she has ice resist down. Yeah, I think that's most, well, you ideally you want somebody to do physical tech up, and Cid can do it and Aerith can do it. I think those will probably be your two best supports in the middle, and they can do ice resist down, both of them, if you have their weapons. The buff weapons are Yuffie and what is this? Yuffie. What is the other character? Yuffie and Matt? Yeah, it's Yuffie and Matt. Okay. So those are two characters there. Matt, he can do physical attack up as well. He could be a good support because he can do ice resist down. He can do physical attack up with one of his weapons. So not a bad support. Like I said, if you do not have ice up on that character, just use the summon. I think that could work. And you'll get a ice up AoE to the whole party. Ideally, use it right when the sigil phase kicks off where you do the most damage. All right. So that pretty much covers guild battle. I might have another video going more in depth, kind of showing you some mocks, showing some other team setups and whatnot. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, so that covers Guild War. Good old Guild War. So let's go to the next thing here. There's a co-op battle. Titan's on now. So if you just go to your co-ops, Titan co-op battles there. It's nothing new. There's no new first clears or anything like that. Pretty much if you want to get caught up on summon battles or get caught up like summon memories, things like that, you can fight Titan in co-op now. That's the new draw, new limit break draw. There's this draw too, which yeah, you get 2 times only 5-star weapons will appear and that's pretty good. Let's look at the odds though. Yeah, so any weapon can be in here, which is not great. If it was only newer weapons, that would be cool. But yeah, I feel like this is good for maybe newer players. It's only you got to use 3,000 red crystals. So if you're a spender and you're newer to the game, you want to get caught up, I think, you know, this draw is not bad. But if you're someone like me who has like 90% of the featured weapons OB10 already, then, you know, this is a very skippable draw. 3,000 red crystals is not cheap. What, you probably have to spend, what, 20, 40 bucks to do 2 draws in this, which, you know, don't know everyone's financial situation, but to me, that's kind of steep. But, yeah, anyway, that's a draw you can do. What else? 5 loops only, 2nd anniversary, oh, it's just another step-up draw. I don't like step-up draws. Critical Threat, Blighted, Spirit Update. So there's a couple new battles in the Crash battle now. Let's go to the Crash. So they added the gold tickets now. We can get the Zac weapon here, which does magic attack is decreased low to mid. Also has magic attack 46, 42. Pretty good R abilities. But yeah, free weapon here for Zac. Also, in the prizes, you can get Zac weapon parts, I believe. You can get Refined Mithril, which is really good. Zac weapon parts, so yeah, you can get 100 Zac weapon parts, very, very valuable. Noble memories as well. So, typical grindy event, just run this battle over and over and over. Clear out all the jackpot prizes, advance your level. Same thing we've been doing forever in this game. So, that is the new Crash Battle content. I believe we also had... Where's the new towers? Where's the tower? Yeah, new battles have been added to the tower, so we can do stages 21 through 25, I guess now, and after you finish that, you can do the 5 brutal floors. And I assume we're going to get one more exchange voucher to redeem toward any of these weapons. I redeemed toward Feather Gloves and Holiday Bell because those are weapons I don't have OB10 at the moment. I'll probably get Shinra Military Sword as my last one because I don't have that OB10 either. But like I said before, if you just want a really good DPS weapon, Shell Knuckles, Holiday Blade, both very, very strong DPS weapons if you don't have an OB10 yet. Good R ability stat sticks are kind of like Radiant Edge, Marine Shooter's a good one, Shield Military Sword's a good one, Feather Glove's a good one, Holiday Bell's a good one. I mean, a lot of good R ability stat sticks. I'd say Seaside Collar and Crystal Cross are probably the worst R ability stat sticks out of these weapons. And yeah. There you go. More content to do in this battle tower. So there you go. What else is going on? I think that pretty much is it. So yeah, we free Temu, Kamura wand, and Zinogre. Really, really cool in my opinion. A couple new banners. What do y'all think of these new banners? What do you think of the weapons? And yeah, just let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this Ever Crisis update. If you enjoy my Ever Crisis content, please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later.